I have chose to do my presentation on the National Football League, the NFL. The NFL is one of the most successful and lucrative sport companies in the world, and it was done. It was not really done by itself, but it was done by a host of groundbreaking leaders. The NFL is the respected. I guess if we were talking about the levels of leadership, the NFL would be in the personhood because it's very well respected, and it has many leagues that try to emulate either all of it or some parts of it. The NFL, however, was not a powerhouse when it first began. It actually was pretty boring league, if I should say so myself. It emerged back from the 1800s, the late 1800s, when there really wasn't anything else to do, and the wartime was over. But the emergence of the AFL kind of took a lackluster league and combined it with a league that didn't have you know, any big star power and kind of add the two together. But before that, they were rivals. The AFL, led by Al Davis and Hank Stram, tried to compete against the NFL, but they thought, as many would have thought, that the two brands would be best served together. And the NFL pretty much was changed because of the AFL. AFL gave them many different things like that they use in day, like even what we take for granted, the recruiting of black athletes. But the grandfather of all has to be Vince Lombardi. Vince Lombardi is I guess, the savior of football. And if you want to talk about the turning point of the NFL, we'd have to say that Super Bowl III, when the AFL finally beat the NFL in the Super Bowl matchup. At that point in time, was just called the National Championship. And shortly after, the head coach of that Baltimore team that lost went over the next year to Miami, and in 1972, I believe, they started a perfect record. See, the thing about the NFL is the NFL was always a good league, but it lacked the storyline. Namath, you got the storyline with Namath, you got the storyline with Don Shula and the 17-0, and now you have Al Davis as the owner of the Oakland Raiders, who just want to just win, baby. That's just his motto. John Madden, who has the best winning percentage of any head coach, just about, and also Davis, being the groundbreaker that he is, hired the first black head coach in Art Shell. And in this era, we have, again, just phenomenal coaches. All of these guys emulate the personhood, the fifth level of leadership. You have Joe Gibbs. You have the Dallas Cowboys. You have the San Francisco 49ers. And then when you talk about branding is the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys made itself America's team, and it has 5 Super Bowl rings to show for it. It does not have the most rings, but Jerry Jones is such a great market person that he went against the NFL. The NFL did Coke, didn't do Coke, but I mean the NFL had its endorsements through Coke, but he went with Pepsi, and he also went with Nike, and he sued the NFL for telling him that he couldn't do it, and so he did it anyway. And because of that, we have the NFL's motto is pretty much corporate socialism. So whatever he made, it brought it back to the whole team. I mean, to the whole team, as I should say, the NFL, and the NFL made money off of it. So basically, the NFL went along with what he did, and it turned into a big corporate powerhouse. And the lockout basically was for market sharing. The players saw they were in danger of making more having to play more games and having to do more, and they felt they had to been paid more. But the most important part of the lockout was that the players who retired beforehand was not getting what they're just due, and that comes to loyalty and consistency. With loyalty and consistency, this is what makes the NFL. The Rooneys. The Rooneys had 3 coaches in the last 40 plus years, and that's why they're the most successful team in the NFL. They have 6 titles